Okay, Chelsea definitely got away with a couple there, right? That that Chaloba, that was, do you know what I mean? And then Reece James, that pull at the end could have been. We're going to get into the reaction of that draw with Newcastle and Chelsea at St James's Park. 2-2 it finished at the end. Newcastle might have been able to nick it, but at the end they weren't quite clinical enough. Yo, you know what to do. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Do me a favor. Help me grow that channel. And yeah, that was a game of two halves, wasn't it? In the first half, Newcastle were all over Chelsea, especially in the first 30 minutes. And they get themselves in front. Voltemada, who I think, by the way, is the best striker signing of the summer so far. Definitely. I mean, he's the guy who has bedded into the team best. The team play to his strengths, you know, and he's getting his goals. He got another brace today. Fair play to him. He should have had a hat-trick. I can't believe he missed that. What a great run. That guy makes great runs, gets himself in really good positions, and he should have put that away. If he had done, it would have been game over. It would have been out of sight. But as it was, they left the door open and you know, Chelsea just walked straight on through. That free kick by Reece James, wow, incredible stuff. For me, Ramsdale like kind of invites him to put the ball there. Incredible skill to put it there, but Ramsdale like is like, yeah, I'm going to leave all this space, and bang, Reece James. What an incredible free kick to get Chelsea back in the game. They had been growing a little bit at the end of the first half, even though they were 2-0 down and a little bit under the cosh. But to get that goal really early in the second half, set them up to get something out of the game. And Reece James was, you know, involved in a few incidents, that's for sure. Chaloba on Anthony Gordon, that's a pen. Come on, the guy didn't even play for the ball. He just goes, barges him. I mean, what is going on? If that's not a pen, I mean, seriously, here in Spain, the Spanish commentators were going, oh my God, like, how is that not a pen? And I mean, I was thinking the same thing. It was so ridiculous. When you have no intention to play the ball like that, you don't touch the ball, you just shove the player, is what he did. Shoulder to shoulder, I don't know. Like, you can't just say shoulder to shoulder every time. There's no attempt to play the ball. He took the player out in the penalty area. For me, that's a pen. That's a pen, seriously. And that would have been a crucial time to get a pen, because it was 2-1. If they get the pen and Newcastle score, Voltemada probably would have scored it. Do you know what I mean? And that changes the game. But as it was, they get away with one. And Ramsdale, he makes a great save from Neto, but at the end, hey, by the way, Maresca, another yellow card. If that was Arteta, like, I've never seen a manager get so many yellow cards and get, you know, like, sent off and all this kind of stuff, and nobody says anything. They just say, oh yeah, that's the great passion. Don't get me wrong, I like the passion and stuff like that, but if that was Arteta, geez, like, Maresca, how many cards kind of manager get before? Is it like 5 as well, like a player? That's mad that you got 4 yellow cards as a manager. That is crazy. People don't talk about that enough. But and then João Pedro gets one-on-one and gets the equalizer. I don't think there was much Ramsdale could do there. It is what it is. But Newcastle had chances. They had chances to win the game. Elanga should score. He gets through. He's being pressed by the defender, yeah, but he manages to get free and get his shot off and puts it just wide of the post. That really should have been the third goal for Newcastle. It was a great throw by Ramsdale, actually, out for Elanga to chase, and wow, he put them under pressure. That was a great run from Elanga. If only he'd got the finish. And then James pulls back thingy. I can't even remember who he pulls back, but for me, oof, that could have gone a different way. So there's a couple of incidents there where I think Newcastle can feel a little bit hard done by. They didn't get the rub of the green. Okay, maybe the pullback. Okay, they talk about how long you hold the player for, and it was just a little pull, but it's enough. It's enough at that stage. I thought personally that would have been a red card for James, but they wave it away, and you know, I'm surprised that Chelsea got those kinds of decisions at St James's Park, because usually you don't get nothing. We don't get nothing at St James's Park. Chelsea got the rub of the green today, but Reece James was super involved. The last ditch tackle he made to save Chelsea from going another goal down, and yeah, that incident at the end and his free kick. So I think, yeah, Reece James sparked them into life a little bit today. They were going to be down and out, dead and buried, really, if Newcastle had got another goal. So Chelsea get out of it. They get a little bit lucky with a couple decisions. That Champions League is where I think they are. That's what they're doing. They're battling for the Champions League. They're not going to challenge for the league title. So is a point that great for them? I guess away at St. James's Park when you're 2-0 down, you've got to say, yeah, that's a big point. Fair enough, you know? But I think Chelsea would have wanted something more out of the game before it started. But you'll take a point, I guess, in that position. If it was Arsenal in that position, I would definitely take a point. So, yeah, Chelsea get out of jail a little bit. And I think they show both sides of their game, really. A bit naive, but they've got good attackers and they can score goals. So I think that's Chelsea this season. That's why they're a little bit up and down. And Newcastle as well. Same. You know, Newcastle with a couple more wins, they might be challenging there for the Champions League. But as it is, they stay, you know, mid-table I think they are. So they're going to hope to get a win from somewhere soon. But yeah, it was an entertaining game. A good way to start the day of football. Next is City West Ham. Come on, West Ham, do us a favour. Can you? Probably not. And then Spurs Liverpool. That's going to be an interesting game. Let's see what happens there. You know, I did my preview. I think Liverpool are going to smash Spurs, to be honest. And then later on, Arsenal Everton. So, hey, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, all that lovely stuff. What a game to kick things off. 2-2 it finished. Chelsea would have wanted more, I feel. Yo, I'll see you next time. Take it easy. Peace. Bye.